Let me ask you something. When was the last time you said sorry for something that wasn't your fault? When was the last time you made yourself smaller so someone else could feel more comfortable? When was the last time you held back an opinion, swallowed a feeling, pretended to be okay, just to avoid taking up too much space? If you're being honest with yourself, it probably happens more than you realize. And today I want to talk about why. Because this is not just a habit. This is not just a personality trait. This is something that was built into you, slowly, over years, and it has been quietly costing you more than you know. Stay with me until the end, because the last part contains the one shift that changes everything. And I promise you, once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Let's start at the beginning. Nobody is born apologizing for who they are. Think about a child. A 2-year-old doesn't walk into a room and wonder if they're too much. They don't hold back their laugh because it might be too loud. They don't shrink their personality to fit what others expect. They just exist, fully, loudly, unapologetically. So what happened? At some point in your life, you received a message. Maybe it was explicit. Stop being so sensitive. You're too much. Why do you always have to make everything about you? Or maybe it was subtle. A parent who only gave attention when you were quiet. A classroom where standing out felt dangerous. A relationship where your needs were always too big. And your mind did something very intelligent with those messages. It adapted. It learned that being fully yourself came with a cost. And so it built a filter. A constant internal editor that runs in the background of everything you do. Asking before you speak, is this too much? Before you ask for something, do I deserve this? Before you take up space, am I allowed to be here? And here's what that filter costs you. Every single day. It costs you your relationships. Because you can't be truly intimate with someone when they only ever meet an edited version of you. The version that's been filtered, softened, made more palatable. Real intimacy requires real presence. And real presence requires you to show up as you actually are. Not as who you think they need you to be. It costs you your confidence. Because confidence is not something you find. It's something you build. Through the evidence of showing up as yourself and surviving it. Through the proof that you can take up space. And the world doesn't end. But when you constantly filter yourself, you never collect that evidence. And your confidence stays exactly where it is. Waiting for a permission that never comes, it costs you your energy. Because performing a version of yourself that isn't real is exhausting. Think about how much mental energy goes into monitoring yourself. Making sure you're not too much, making sure you don't offend, making sure everyone around you is comfortable. That's not living. That's managing. And you've been doing it for so long. You probably don't even notice how tired it makes you anymore. And here's the part that hurts the most. It costs you the right people. Because when you hide who you really are, you attract people who like who you're pretending to be. And then you have to keep pretending. Forever, just to keep them. But the moment you start showing up as yourself, the people who are meant for you will find you, not the filtered version, you. So how do you stop? How do you undo something that's been wired into you for years? The first thing, you stop waiting for permission to exist. This is the root of everything. Most people who apologize for who they are waiting for someone to tell them it's okay to be themselves. Waiting for enough validation, enough approval. Enough evidence that they are acceptable as they are. But here's the truth. That permission is never coming from the outside. It was never supposed to. The only person who can give you permission to exist fully is you. And you can decide that today. Not when you're more confident. Not when you've fixed everything you think is wrong with you. Today, as you are, right now. The second thing, you start practicing small acts of presence. You don't have to transform overnight. You don't have to suddenly become someone who says everything they think. Who never shrinks, who never doubts. You just have to start small. Say the opinion you were about to swallow. Ask for the thing you were about to talk yourself out of. Take up the space you were about to give away. Leave the conversation that was making you feel small, without explaining yourself, without apologizing. Just leave. Each one of these moments is a vote. A vote for the version of you that doesn't need to earn the right to exist. And the more votes you cast, the stronger that version becomes. The third thing, and this is the one that changes everything. You stop treating your authenticity as a problem to be managed, and you start treating it as a gift to be offered. Because here's what I need you to understand. The things about you that you've been apologizing for, your sensitivity, your intensity, your opinions, your needs, your way of seeing the world, those are not flaws. Those are features. The right people in your life, the ones worth keeping. Don't just tolerate those things. They need them. They are better because of them. They chose you because of them, not in spite of them. And every time you hide those parts of yourself, you rob them of the real version of you, and you rob yourself of being truly known. So here's what I want you to do after this video. Think of one thing you've been apologizing for. One thing you've been making smaller. One part of yourself you've been hiding because you were afraid it was too much. And today, just for today, let it be exactly as big as it actually is. Don't manage it. Don't filter it. Don't apologize for it. Just let it exist. Because the moment you stop apologizing for who you are is the moment the right people stop leaving. The moment your relationships get deeper. The moment your confidence stops feeling like something you have to perform and starts feeling like something you actually have. That's what changes. Not overnight, but it starts the moment you decide. Tell me in the comments, what is one thing you've been apologizing for that you're done apologizing for starting today? Write it down, right here. I read everything. And if this video reached someone who needed to hear it today, share it. See you in the next one.